Hi there, it's Naomi Nygaard here, and I'm the founder and creator of the Food and Body Freedom Steps. And I'm here today to help to clarify some of the questions that I've been having since the coronavirus really became a thing and we started to feel more fear about the future and what's happening. Many women that I support in groups and individually have been reaching out to me and saying, I'm eating more than I usually would, I'm overeating, I'm even binging, and that I know that there's some kind of connection with the virus. Partly because women are spending more time at home than they usually would if they're self-isolating or quarantining, and that there can be boredom and restlessness. But I found that the main reason when I've started to explore this with the women that I support and guide is that there's some kind of legacy burden that gets passed down when we're in a crisis situation when it comes to food. So let's think about this for a second. In the past, I've supported women who are Irish and have a heritage where famine was a part of the story, the historical story of their ancestral line. Likewise, women that I've supported who are African, and even some women that were Scandinavian. Exploring our ancestry and the relationship that our parents and grandparents had with food is making sense in the context of this pandemic. That actually when we find ourselves stockpiling more food than we might need, and even eating in our meals or between meals food that we don't actually need in our bodies, it highlights an uncertainty that goes deeper than our lives. It goes beyond our lives to our ancestry, to times when fear was very much the norm, and that fear didn't have the opportunity to get processed. We didn't have therapists and groups and processes, spiritual support freely available, and the knowledge that we now have so much in those days. And also there wasn't the time. Many of our ancestors were panicked and just went into survival mode. And some of that panic and fear really gets passed down through the generations and actually results in so much of the burden that we experience in our relationship with food. Oftentimes I hear women say, but I just love food, that's why I overeat, or that's why I binge. But actually under the surface there's so often this thread of fear. Will I have enough? Is there going to be enough for me to survive? And oftentimes I believe that that fear has literally been packaged up, unprocessed, and passed down through our generational line. So I myself am half English, half German, so both ancestors on both sides, from my grandparents upwards, were affected by the First World War, the Second World War. Well, the Second World War was my grandparents. And they didn't know, particularly the German side, whether there was going to be enough food to survive. They were literally living hand to mouth from day to day. And that takes its toll, and that toll, I believe, then gets passed down. And I believe that my own journey of freedom, and I know that my own journey of freedom from both over and under eating, has been a result of acknowledging those ancestors and the struggles that they went through, and also releasing from my own body the impact on a cellular, even perhaps genetical level of that burden. So I'd like to invite you to join me in a blessing, and particularly those of you who are struggling to control the amount of food that you find yourself eating right now, out of fear, out of restlessness, and out of uncertainty for this very real crisis that we're undergoing right now as a human family. And the blessing is to our ancestors, because actually something good happened where even though they may have struggled, even though they may have been starving at times, they did survive, we did survive, to the extent that we've come through into this life. And actually we do have online shopping and shops that still are stocking fresh vegetables. Just for today, we have all the food that we need to survive. And if we can just keep it in the day and stay calm and know that we will have our needs met, and also stay calm in the moment, even if we find ourselves overeating or binging, see if we can connect with those parts that are there for our survival and help them relax and be reassured at this really uncertain time. So I would love to hear any responses from you, any identification. Maybe you know of family members you have that really struggled and didn't have enough food and were really up against it when it came to their survival. I'd love to hear any such stories, and also your own experiences of the virus and how it may be affecting your relationship with food right now, whether you're someone that overeats compulsively or undereats or does other things. It would be great to hear you, so feel free to like this video, post below, or reach out to me individually. I look forward to being with you at this time and through this really difficult time, however long it lasts. I commit to stay connected, and if I feel anything would be helpful, I will share it here. So it's great to meet with you today, and have a really safe, antivirus and calm, peaceful day.